Hello. I feel like the camera was a little dirty. Can you hear me okay? If you can hear me, can you give me a one in the chat? And here come the people. Here come the dogs. Soon as they hear me talking, they don't like to see me talking. We'll go with the red background. Oh, that tastes good. Hi. Okay. Let's see. I didn't get myself all. I'm going to get this completely set up so I don't have to keep fooling with it each time. Let me know if you can hear me before I get to running my mouth, y'all. Give me a one in the chat, please, while we wait on everybody to come on in. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. Sorry I was late. If you are part of the Real One Tribe, you know I'm taking the class. Hey, TW. How you doing? Hey, Melissa. Taking my gut health class, and we were working on a case study. It was so interesting. I'm so excited about these new services that I'm going to be able to, offer my current patients, future patients. I noticed that because it's a little bit different from what I do as a nurse practitioner, because I won't necessarily like leaky gut is not necessarily a medical diagnosis, right? But it is a thing, right? But your primary care doctor is not going to go through the steps necessary to figure out, one, is it actually leaky gut? And two, how can we build the gut back up, the lining and all those things. Hi, Esty. So I'm gonna have to make the distinction, because people who come from me, who will be coming to me for functional medicine, I still want to call them patients, but it looks like everybody else call them clients. Anyway, that's just me and my tangent. How y'all doing today? We'll give folks a couple of more minutes before we get started. How's everybody's week going so far? How was your Thursday? What y'all got going on before we get into the wins and things of that nature. I took my earrings off. Anybody else do that? As soon as I get home, I take off earrings and my ring. I keep my watch on because I want to get my steps. But I don't know what it is about having earrings and my ring on. I will take it off right away. That's good, Melissa. I'm glad you're having a good day, good week. I'm doing pretty good. I gotta do better. I got a lot going on, and it's time to get more done. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I gotta get more done. TW said my week so far is good. I had some major repairs done to my car. Bride's like, no, that's good. That is awesome. That sounds like a win. So let's go ahead. You all can start putting your wins in the chat. I think TW already got us kicked off because that sounds like a win. I'll go ahead and start with mine. So this week, as of yesterday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, let me see, 29, Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah. As of yesterday, I have completed 32 continuous days of exercise as part of the Soft 75. Cannot believe it. I'm pretty much halfway done. I think I'm due to hit day 75, July 18th. Very proud of myself. Now, could I do better when it comes to weight resistance? Absolutely. You know, I'm leaning towards the treadmill more than I should. But starting next week, I'm going to do better with that. But at the end of the day, I'm still doing 45 minutes exercise. And I also am today made day 4 of a 7-day okra water challenge I'm doing. Yes, I said okra water. And I will be doing a video about it, how the challenge went and things like that. So I'm day 4 with that. So that's a win. And then I started pickleball yesterday, guys. I had a ball playing pickleball. I think I don't know if it will take the place of tennis. Tennis has been my favorite sport to play, but it's gonna be real close. Cause like serving is so much easier. I don't know. It's like an easier game, but you could still get a good workout. I really had fun with that. So I'm looking forward to next Wednesday and everything. All right, let's see what we got. Melissa said, anytime your car runs like new, that's always a major win. Absolutely. Hi, Michelle. Oh, that's Michelle. Michelle and Melissa are sisters. Thanks for coming. Let's see. CW said, new tires, 4 T-rods in front. Oh, yeah. It's basically new. That's basically a new car. Sir, can I help you? These dogs don't think about coming down here in my room until they hear me talking. And they, I think, try to figure out who am I talking to. Because it's like, I don't see anybody in here, but she's having a whole conversation. So that's how that go. All right, so TW told us about his wins. Hey, Butterfly. Make sure y'all put y'all wins in the chat. And while y'all typing, I just want to say thank y'all for the support. It's been about a little over a week since I was able to get monetized. And people think because you monetize, like you just, clocking up money every day. Yeah, you might get 50 cents maybe a day, but it's not, like you just get millions or what have you. And I'm still trying to learn how, like, I don't want to call it pay period, but I guess the earning period goes. I know you get paid on the 21st. And right now, I don't know if I'm going to get a check June 21st, because if you didn't know, once you are fully monetized, you have to have at least $100 or Google doesn't, pay you out. And so right now, I think I might have $6 or $7. So, but I was so happy. Like my first day being monetized, I made 43 cents. And so I was proud of that. So, I'm excited because you have to crawl before you walk, right? And it's going to keep me motivated and encouraged to put out quality content that hopefully, people will view in order to get the ads placed on the video, in order to get my share of the advertisement dollars. So, I just want to tell y'all thank you. I appreciate the support. I would have never even gotten to this point if it wasn't for y'all. And, continue to share any of the videos, any other content that you think somebody might enjoy. And also, y'all tell me, you give me honest feedback, because I know everything ain't for everybody. But for those who do watch the long form content, you probably have noticed that I've been doing a little bit of give and take, right? I may do a video that's kind of leaning towards XJW content, but then I'll do like a video that's not, maybe dealing more so with, being a Gen Xer, being a woman, or, just whatever the case may be. Do you like that? Would you prefer that it be heavier on the XJW side, or do you like the balance? And y'all opinions matter to me, because y'all my people. All right, let's see. All right, Melissa said, My win is my husband and I have been doing a lot better at communicating with each other. So that is a win for both of us. That is communication is key in any relationship. Communication is key. TW, another win. I remain out of the I remain out of the watchtower going on 36 years of freedom. Yay. I can't believe it. You made it 36 years. Um, let's see. Okay, TW, thank you. You say you like when I mix it up. Yeah, keep reading the room. Melissa, no, I love the balance. Thank you guys. And like I say, what you all would have said is what I would roll with, because y'all the ones who rock with me. Y'all my people. Y'all the OGs. Y'all the OGs are the real ones. So okay, good. Then I'm gonna keep doing it. I got some fun content coming up. Um, I just got to get myself together. Hey, Cool Sense. How you doing? You got any wins for the week? We still talking about wins. Let's see. Michelle said my win for the week is bonding. Bonding with my 8-year-old, playing outside a lot more, with making amazing memories. That is cool. That is awesome. That's right. Thank you, Cool Sense. I be forgetting to say this, even though when I do watch people live, they always tell people, push the like button, and all the things. I always don't think about it, but thank you, Cool Sense, because it does make a difference, y'all. So yeah, if y'all could come in and hit the like buttons on the live, that helps. I know many of you all like the videos and leave comments, so I appreciate it. Let's see. Butterfly said, been an exceedingly taxing few weeks. However, I was successful in not overstraining my spirit to help others. That is awesome. You will never be on top of the world if you allow everyone to stand on your shoulders. Ain't that the truth? Yeah. I'm glad that you recognize that there was no benefit in overstraining yourself. You know, um, so often um, we always thinking about others, and things of that nature. And then we look up and we have just a little bit in our glass and no one to fill it. So, you know, that is a win, to not overstrain yourself for the benefit of others. So that is a win. What up, Leo? How you doing? Is this your week of 7 days off? Did that start? All right, y'all. Y'all keep putting your wins in there and we'll discuss. So, all right, question of the week. So I was thinking about this and I'll, give my commentary on it. So the question is, what's one fear or limiting belief you once had, but now you embrace it or you've overcome it? So I'll read it again. What's one fear or limiting belief you once had, but now all right, let me start over. What's one fear or limiting belief you once had, but now you embrace it or you've overcome it? Okay. So let me know if I need to repeat it again. I know I kind of butchered it a little bit. All right, Butterfly said, yes, I agree. Keep mixing up your content. Your vibe will attract your tribe. Yes. Leo said, actually 14 days altogether. Oh, okay. Yeah, working 7 days straight, man. When I was a floor nurse, a bedside nurse, I had just started at this new hospital. And so, I didn't really have a lot of PTO time. what am I trying to say? Earned. So in order to keep a mini vacation I had planned, I had to work, I think, 5 12s in a row. Anybody who's ever been a nurse or been friends or relatives with a nurse, it sounds good, 3 12s a week, but it's a lot. Oh my God. By day 4, I thought I was going to die. I was going to die. I was like, how do people do this? And there's nurses out here who do that. They work 5 12s a week and all this stuff. I'm like, I ain't no way I could have done that. Ain't no way. So I see the chat now moving. So I think y'all typing in y'all answers to the question. So I'll go ahead with my answer. So when I was younger, in my 20s, I would say even starting probably in my late teens, I was absolutely terrified of failing. I was terrified of failing. Um, like failing would have just been horrible for me. And then I want to say, what was it? Rare Air. Is that the Michael Jordan book? The one where it's like all like he got a white sheet or something on him. I think it's called Rare Air. But that book, of course, I read it. I love Michael Jordan. Um, but he talked about how, like in so many words, like he embraced failure because it's like if he didn't put himself out there, if he didn't have those failures, like that means he's not trying, he's not growing, this and that. I know I'm not probably doing a good job of how he articulated in the book, but it changed my whole approach about failing. Right? I've had many businesses, and outside people might see it as a failure. I used to have a home daycare, and I loved it. It was so good, helping kids learn their numbers, and just kids was excited then about learning compared to when I was, in the school system. I loved it. But things changed with the like the child daycare assistance programs and things like that. I was single, I had a mortgage, and I was like, yeah, and I had young parents who prioritized kicking it on the weekend versus, paying the daycare provider. So I end up having to close it down. I sent my students to my girlfriend a couple of miles away, excuse me, that had been established longer, and things like that. And I didn't see it as a failure, but that was many years after I had read that book. So one thing about me is I overcame it and I embrace it. I'd rather be able to say I did X, Y, and Z and it didn't work out, and I'm okay with that versus I was too scared to do X, Y, and Z. So now I never know. My grandma used to always say, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I thought my grandma made that up. I thought my grandma had made woulda, coulda, shoulda. I thought she made one monkey don't stop no show. So the first time I heard somebody outside of my household say those things, I was like, how you know that? My grandma made that saying up. How you know that? I was crazy. But I embrace it now. I think I told y'all I'm moving into a bigger space for my practice. Initially, I was nervous. Like today, I pay rent for where I'm currently at, my current office. My new office is same building, but down the hall. Yeah, I'm still a little nervous. It's $380 more. But when I do my Zoom class and realize, man, I'm about to be out here helping people get answers that they're not getting at their doctor and helping them improve their health, the money will come, and I'll be able to pay rent and keep doing what I'm doing. So that's my one thing. I was fearful of failing, and that's how I embrace it because I'd rather fail and get out my comfort zone and know that I tried versus never doing it. So that was my reply. All right, look like I gave y'all plenty of time. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, Leo said, yeah, after 14 days, he's not gonna want to go back to work after that. I'm sure. TW said, one fear I had when I was young was public speaking. I no longer have that fear, and it helped me to advance at work. I don't want to tell you how I overcame public speaking. Think about it. You already know what I'm about to ask. You was doing them public talks on the Theocratic Ministry School. Let's see. Melissa said one fear was living outside the religion of JW's beliefs and realizing that it's okay to put myself first and it's okay to live my authentic life and do what makes me happy. I'm on this journey. Absolutely, Melissa. And that's real for a lot of people. And can you imagine people who are what is it? Homey? They physically out, but they still like mentally in, because they afraid of, if I let it go mentally, it's one thing to not go to the hall and not go out in service, but if I let it go mentally, what is that going to do to me? Leo said, I've always been self-conscious and had a fear of not being able to do things that others can do. Even when other people saw I could do, I didn't see it. Yeah. And that's for a lot of things. I think a lot of people probably have that one. I don't know if it's a fear. What is that? What would I call it? Let me finish reading. And then let me write this, and I'm gonna share this story. And then maybe y'all can tell me, because it's not a fear. I guess it would probably fall under limiting a belief. What Leo said made me think of something. I'm gonna share my thoughts. Melissa said, and watching your channel has helped me in my progress of moving forward. So I want to oh, Melissa, you're so sweet. I'm glad. The channel is healing for me too, because you know how they say you should write stuff down or, talk about it, just to get it out your soul, like out your spirit, so that it don't hold space in a negative way. So for me, especially with those first 3 videos, just telling my story, it was very liberating, because it's like, I'm putting this out here for any and everybody who has YouTube, to hear my story. So it's healing and therapeutic for me. And obviously, when people let me know that it touched them too or helped them in some way, it just lets me know, like, it feels good, Yes. Yes, TW, I agree. Authentic is a great place to land. No worries, Melissa. Leo, I think we all had to deal with being self-conscious. Yep. Yep. Leo, TW, I didn't have any confidence because I was so sheltered as a JW kid. It was horrible. I got a lot to say about that too, Leo. Let's see, Leo, TW. However, speaking of public speaking, I gave my first talk in the Kingdom Hall at 6 years old. Oh. Essie said, I'm very introverted and never joined the theocratic. Really? How did they let you get away with that, Essie? I'm surprised they didn't just pressure you. Speaking about what Leo was saying, so I guess I don't know if it's a limiting belief. Y'all tell me. I don't think it's a limiting belief, and I don't think it's a fear. Maybe y'all can help me find the words. So when I was in the 2nd grade, me and my uncle was at home. My mama worked nights. My grandparents was gone, and they didn't want to take me. Like, they would, take me normally bowling, or, if they might have went to the racetrack, or, over their friend's house to play cards, they would usually, take me. But I guess this night they like, you stay here. So my uncle was frying pork chops, and I was doing homework, spelling words. I'm in the second grade. And whatever it is I wanted to write in the sentence, I wanted to say something about cereal. And so I asked my uncle, and he kind of, went in on me like, you don't know how to spell cereal, you in second grade, all this stuff. So of course now I'm feeling stupid because I'm like, well, am I supposed to know how to spell cereal? And of course I started crying. And of course I was like, wait till my papa get here because I'm gonna tell on you. Like that's what I'm thinking. So he frying these pork chops. Now he didn't fry them up. I'm over here crying, my feelings hurt, feeling, stupid because I guess I'm supposed to know how to spell cereal. I'm in the second grade. He started rinsing the fried pork chops out under the faucet because they were salty. And I stopped kind of crying because I'm thinking to myself, I might not know how to spell cereal, but I know that salt ain't coming out them fried pork chops. So a few minutes later or whatever, he come and he's, kind of puts the cereal box in front of me and points, to the word, and I spell it or whatever. And that always stuck with me from that night on, that I never want to be in a position where somebody can make me feel stupid, So, yeah, so I guess that would have been a fear, that I never want to be in a situation where people could call me stupid. Um, so, yeah, but anyway, let me speed up the story. So that was in second grade. My uncle was doing some traveling work, and he happened to be in Virginia, where I went to school for college. So we got together. He took me out, bought me a few things, put some money in my pocket, and he was like talking about just how proud he was of me and this, and that. And so I ended up telling him the story, what happened when I was in second grade, and he started crying, and he said, you know what? I'm sorry I did that to you, and I'm glad that you used it to say, I ain't gonna never let nobody, call me stupid again, and I'm gonna do well academically and stuff like that. But you know what my uncle revealed? He didn't know how to spell cereal. He didn't know how to spell cereal. So, sometimes a negative can turn out to be a positive. I have 4 degrees, and I consider myself fairly bright, fairly intelligent. So I don't know, but that's a pet peeve. I don't like for people to try to talk to me like I'm stupid. It drives me crazy. So is it pet peeve, or is it fear of being made to feel less than? What do I think? Let's see. I missed a lot. Um, Essie said I was a householder once. Then I moved to a new congregation and never joined. Okay, that's how you was able to get. Excuse me, y'all. Essie, my elders would have rolled you back until you joined. Yeah, that's why I was like, how did she pull that off? Um, 2 elders did send me to the back room and question me how I was so consistent with my 10 hours a month. Like, oh my God. You don't have to be on that school to go out in service. I hear they call it something totally different now. I heard they don't call it Theocratic Ministry School. I forget what they call it, but they don't call it that no more. 10 hours a month will keep the elder at bay for a long time. Oh, absolutely. Let's see. Leo said, I feel you on that, T. Don't try to insult my intelligence and act like I'm stupid. Yeah, that's my pet peeve. Oh, that's my pet peeve. It burns me up. Let's see. Essie said, the elders thought I was cheating on my time. They thought it was too consistent. I'm like, what they want you to put 10.25? Like, oh my God. Kusin said, I heard that. Don't talk down on me either. Watch that slick talking. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, did I miss something? No. Okay. Butterfly said, You are a baby and he traumatized you, projected his imposter syndrome and loathing on of self onto you. Very sad. Yeah, you know, but you know how I made peace with it. Not only him being vulnerable and letting me know, what, a million years later, because I think I was a sophomore in college when he told me, that he couldn't spell it. Um, I am a super fan of Iyanla Vanzant, and she's said this many times where she'll say, like, it don't make it right or this and that. But she said when you get to know other people's story, it can, I guess you find where you can extend more grace or whatever. And I love my uncle, and I guess I'm turning lemons into lemonade and or what have you. Um, but yeah, it could have went completely left though. If I wasn't who I was, to say, I'll show you that you and nobody else will ever be able to, make me feel stupid. Like that's the kind of attitude I had as a second grader. But it could have went the other way. Like, I am stupid, and I could have just shut down, But I've been something else, strong minded, as my mom say. The joke, as my mom would say, since I started this channel, she said, "Well, the whole witnesses learn. You only can, think she gonna do what you want her to do for so long, Like, I got a strong will." Let's see, as he said, we call people that reported good feels over time, but were unseen. They were doing secret. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all, I have to go to a funeral tomorrow. My friend's husband. And I would consider him a friend as well. He passed unexpectedly. And I'm telling you, every time I see somebody in their 50s or 60s passing, it just disturbs me. I don't know what happened. I don't want to, pressure my friend or nothing like that. So I guess in time she'll tell me. So I got to get up and go out south for that. Butterfly said, yes, that's the say to never judge someone's book of life on the chapter you happen to walk in on. Glad he made it right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Um, yeah, but it just like in the last probably 2 weeks, within the last 2 weeks, almost every other day, somebody is either somebody I know or is somebody telling me, that somebody I know of passed. And with the exception of him, like I say, I know he did have some health challenges, but I don't know what happened because he was doing pretty good. Uh, all the other people have been in their 50s or 60s, and it's been a heart attack. And it's just like, you know, we got to do something, man. We got to do something. It's stress, lack of sleep. We ain't staying properly hydrated. When we do get diagnosed with high blood pressure or high cholesterol or diabetes, we don't want to take the medication. And a lot of times men don't want to take the medication because they don't want that being affected. But it ain't worth your life. Get your health together. You can come off these medications and will be all right. Yeah, I appreciate that, y'all. Yeah, this was like I say, my friend and her husband, they've been married a long time. I used to do real estate. I don't know if I ever mentioned that to y'all. So we had done some deals together. Such a good guy. Such a good guy. And she's part of our book club. So, while we waiting on people to get on the book club, I could hear him in the background and, things of that nature. Or he like, tell T, I said, what's up, And it's like, how? Just crazy. Hey, hey, Lady Tina. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. They did the viewing tonight, and I had thought about it, but I didn't want to cancel this. And then I had my Zoom class, so I'm gonna just go to the funeral and support. Some of my other friends, they went tonight, and they say my friend is holding up pretty good, so gotta go pay my respects, and stuff like that. Kingston, if you weren't such a heavy boy, you could get up here and say hi, but you too heavy. Let's see. Lady Tina said, hey, did I make it to the live? It's 9:15 my time. You did make it. TW said, I was called to the back room once, but honestly, I don't remember why. It probably had something to do with field service time. That's crazy that they was calling people back for field service time. Thank you, Lady Tina. I don't like funerals and stuff. I hate how sad everybody else is when I see them. Yeah. And you know what? Last Saturday, I went to visit my dad, my paternal grandparents, and an uncle who passed before I was born. My dad's brother, oldest brother. I don't like going to the cemetery. My husband, he goes and pays, his respects and things like that to his mom, where she's buried a few times a year. And I said, you know what? We've been married all this time, and you ain't never, seen where my people rest. And waterworks, just like that, just walking up, So I like to think that their spirit, is with me. But it's nothing like seeing where their body rests, So I know tomorrow I'm probably gonna be a little bit more emotional, But I ain't mean to bring the vibe down, y'all, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, but this is my good girlfriend, uh, for many years. And like I said, her husband ended up becoming a friend and, things of that nature. So, but yeah, that's how it go. That's how it goes. So we got to do better. We just got to do better collectively. And so that's why I'm taking my gut health class, right? So I can help people improve their health and in their life. Oh, excuse me. I put a lot of ginger in this. This is golden beets. I know it looks like orange juice. This is golden beets, apples, a lemon, and a lot of ginger. So I'm sorry I keep burping. So anyway, all right, let's bring the vibe back up. Let's see. Lady Tina only visit our son's grave once or twice a year on average. He's in my heart daily. Yes. So sorry about your son. That's how I feel too, Lady Tina. That's how I feel. Kusin said, people grieve differently. I find it hard to visit my mother's burial site. I prefer just keeping the memory. Yes. Yes. That's how I feel too. I do have, and this is my, all my paternal family. I do have an uncle. I still have an uncle. So he lives closer to where the cemetery is and things of that nature. So I try to go enough to make sure everything is still on the up and up. Really, Leo, I know a lot of people are opting for that. You sound like my best friend. This is what he say. Talking about going on a cruise or something. This is what my best friend say. My best friend said he talking about he gonna donate his body to science. And then that way you don't have to spend no money. He gets on. That's what he say. But yeah, he's saying he don't want to be buried. And he's like, why spend 15, 20 grand? Everybody had they own thing. I know more people who are opting, who do have life insurance policies and all that stuff, but are opting for a cremation just so that then their ashes can be shared, amongst family. One of my friends, her grandmother passed, and so she, had a small policy on her, was able to have her cremated, but then she had these really nice, like silver heart thingies. I wouldn't call them an urn, but I think you could use it like an urn, and you could seal it. So then all the first cousins, all like so many people was able to have, a piece of the grandma. And I was like, when you think about it like that, that was kind of, that was kind of nice. Um, Considering. Let's see. Oh no, TW, you're not the only one. Leo said he gonna get cremated too. Yes, yes, butterfly. You know what? Cool sense. I was just thinking that. I plan for my ashes to help the oceans of the world by infusing them into the coral reefs. Okay. CW, I want my decay process to be quick instead of doing it slow 6 feet under in a box. I hear you. Cool sense. I was just thinking the same thing. Like I was like, oh, I didn't mean to, bring the vibes down. But you bring up an excellent point. Who was I talking to? It might have been my husband when we went to the cemetery. Because I was telling him at the time when I got my dad's plot, I had decided to get my mom's, but they divorced. And my maternal people are at another cemetery, maybe about two miles away. So I was like, she may not want to be next to him, so to speak. But I was just thinking as the oldest child of both of them. But yeah, I think it was my husband. He was saying, like one good thing is y'all family talk about death. He said, me and my family, we didn't talk about it. We don't talk about it. And it's like, yeah, it's a part of living, right? So it's better to kind of know people's wishes. Because sometimes people got wishes. I got family members who want to be buried. But they ain't got no buried money. Okay. They ain't got no life insurance policy. They ain't got no savings, but that's their wishes. But ain't nobody gonna go and take out loans because that's your wishes. so, so yeah, these are things that we do have to talk about. Yes, it is, Lady Tina. Yeah, they don't. And see, I come from like when I was little, I didn't realize that my great aunts and uncles was like that meant they was like the aunts and uncles of my regular aunties and uncles. So, you know, my thinking just seemed to be a little bit different than most people because I was eavesdropping, I guess you could say, on these conversations. So growing up, I thought everybody like already had burial plots and things of that nature. I didn't know that oh no, that's just how my family did it. Like my maternal grandfather, him and all his siblings, and my grandma and people and the siblings' spouses, they all at one cemetery, all in one section. I just thought that's how it was. I didn't know that was, pre-planning. So That's true. And that's real. You know? Let's see. Cool. Since it's better to plan for it if possible, set that living trust up if you own property and businesses too. Absolutely. Like I keep saying, I need to Lord, what is it called? And that's a shame because I have a life insurance license. Keyman Insurance. Is that what it's called? Keyman Insurance. Like, you can get a life insurance policy for a key principle of a business that basically if that person was to pass, then that money is to help recruit, a person to fill the spot and, things of that nature and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, my husband, my mom, and them, Lord forbid, if I was sorry, y'all, I don't know what happened. Are y'all still there? Let me see. You said, I hope we still good. Okay, it say it's still live. It say JW's talk about death too. Rutherford said millions now will never die. That just kills me. Yeah. Leo said my wife and daughter will be straight when I'm gone. So if I disappear suddenly, she did it. Butterfly. One thing I'm not gonna do is have a JW funeral. I know that's right. Cool sense. Yep, still here. All right, still here. Yeah, I don't know what happened. He said reconnecting. So okay, we still good. So yeah, yeah, but no, that's real talk, man. Real talk. We all got to be responsible, right? That's how I look at it. So anyway, is it anything that you all would like for me to possibly tackle in a long form video? For those who came on a little bit later, I had asked if, if you all, how did y'all like, that I'm balancing out some of the content where something that may be XJW related versus, non-XJW related. And the good majority said they like the mix. And I'm glad to hear that because like I said, y'all's opinions matter most. Because I know y'all rock with me in a real way. Y'all, this is the next book club book. If Melissa's still in here, she's already on chapter 3. She's like, it's already, she already implementing some stuff. I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm gonna get to it. I don't plan on going to the repast and all that stuff. I'm just probably go to the funeral and come on back home. It's Friday. I don't want to be out south all day and get back and try to do some things. So let's see. It's TW said Butterfly, a JW funeral is a 1 hour advertisement for Watchtower. Absolutely. Hey, team of Pro Video. Never ever what? Initially, the JW stuff brought me here, but now we just hanging out. Awesome, cool sense. And you know what? I learned I learned a while ago that you weren't even an XJW or, ever a JW. So I thought that was really cool. But you know what, y'all? I'm getting more and more subs who are not, JW affiliated. They just like maybe the story, maybe the video came up in what do you call it? Recommended videos or whatever, and then they just go down the rabbit hole. so I think that's pretty cool. Okay. I was just telling them, Melissa, that you are already 3 chapters in on the new book. Let's see, T, in one of your videos, go deep into the difference in JW experience for Bornians versus those of us that came in as young adults completely different. Oh my God, I really wanted to do this. I really want to do this. So I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad that you said that. So, because I was thinking it too. Because was it my husband? It was somebody that asked me, dang, I can't even remember what they asked me, but it was something to the effect like, I think it was like, do you think your time as a JW like messed you up? And my response was, I don't want to, I don't think I would describe it that way, because despite all the pushback and all the negative talk, I never stopped doing certain things, right? Like I never stopped out here hustling, getting money. Like I always had a side hustle, even when I was teaching. I didn't let it stop me from going back to become a nurse. Um, I didn't let it stop me from being around my family and being around, non-JW friends. I just didn't broadcast it, and things of that nature. And I told him, compared to, like, I had a sense of who I was before I got sucked in. I said, compared to those who are born in and this is all they know. This is all they know, because they've been told you can't, if you go outside of this, the devil gonna get you. So when you think about, and I was kind of trying to convey that a little bit, but I don't think I didn't tackle it the way the way you suggested. I was trying to convey that in the video I did last week. I think it was called something like "Don't Waste Your Freedom," and that's what I was calling myself trying to address and gear it towards. I guess I don't know. I don't think I said like born in and things of that nature, but I do definitely feel like it's a difference, because when I watch channels and content of people who born in, they be going all the way in. But I understand why. Because you just been deceived from the time got here, until the time you just was like, oh my God, I've been duped. Yeah, it's intense. So I'm gonna work on that, TW. I have to, really try to outline that out. What would y'all say? What would y'all say? I guess I would want to, like, from the perspective of like just an average born and raised in JW versus obviously I could give the experience of someone who comes in as an adult. What would you say is some of those, like, I guess, characteristics or distinguishing characteristics between the two? Let's see. Cool Sense said, a whole JW rabbit hole is so fascinating to me. Yeah. I've been down lately. That's why I need to get my life together, because I've been going a little bit down some of these Mormon ones. Oh Lord, I can't think of this one lady's name, but oh my God, her content's so good. She did a whole video talking about like the racist history of Mormons, and how black people couldn't get the priesthood, whatever that mean, and just all this stuff. And it was fascinating to me. And I'm like, I looked at some more of her content, but then I had to stop. Let's see. JWs may be JWs may be a good idea to talk about the lesser known things JWs can't do. Say, bless you, eat certain cereal. Now, let me tell you, I didn't learn the cereal thing. I think Esty was the first one to talk about the cereal thing. I had never heard that in all my time in the organization. I knew about not saying bless you. I knew about not saying good luck. But yeah, that would be a good one. Let's see. Melissa said, I was raised in it and it messed me up. Aw. What do you think messed you up? Like how Leo said that, because he was raised that way, it made him like self-conscious. So is that what you mean, Melissa, when you say messed you up? That like it made you more self-conscious? Because I could see how, and quite a few born in, you hear them say that in their content. Coulson said, my two co-workers showed up to work with beards all of a sudden after being so proud of staying clean shaved. But Coulson, this is what I want you, I would have loved for you to say, hey, what's going on? I've never seen you with a beard, to see what they would say. You think they would have said, I'm sorry, y'all. Do you think they would have said, well, the governing body said we got new lights so we can wear beards now? My husband has one that he works with, and he all of a sudden had a beard. So when I told my husband they can wear beards now, he was like, "That's why. That's why." It's so crazy. I would love to know how many men, when they made that announcement, how many men like left, like how many men it woke them up, like, wait a minute, I've been walking around for 42 years, or, whatever, without having a beard. And now, just like that, it's okay. It's no longer worldly. It's no part. Whew. Like my husband always say, if you hadn't woke up when you woke up, do you think you still be in it? I said, heck, no. I'll tell you exactly when I would have left if I hadn't left prior to. Soon as they started doing them Zoom meetings, I'd have been out, because that'd have been my opportunity. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Let's see. GW said JWs can't not do bless you, happy anything. Right. Melissa, that's why I'm having a hard time finding who I am as an adult. Because of the restrictions, Melissa, like can't do this, can't do that. Yeah. Like you can't even take part in like school sports and clubs and things of that nature, you know. Cool, says this is what got my attention and started research. Oh, but did you have a conversation? Did you ever have a conversation? Let's see, born is what is my authentic self? Yeah, yeah, that's real. Cereal, you mean Lucky Charms? Yeah, I that's what Esty had told me. And somebody else mentioned it too. I think Butterfly. I did not know that Lucky Charms was not an option. I really did not. I had heard about, and mind you, I didn't have small kids, so maybe that's why. But I had heard about something about with the Smurfs, and I'm just like, okay. But I never heard about the cereal thing. It never crossed my mind. I remember when they was even talking about like Disney movies and like the princesses or any kind of magic, and I'm just like, yo, it's Disney. Come on now. How is this Satan? Well, cool sense. I think that could go beyond JWs as well. But I guess what you're saying is they try to come across so kumbaya kind of thing. Right, TW. I heard of a lot of people who were walking around, um, basically razor bumped up for years because they couldn't grow their beard out. Oh my God. Hey, Reynard. Reynard was like one of the first people to reach out to me. He said he could tell I was from Chicago the way I sound. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you made it to the live. We be over here on Thursdays. Let's see. Cool. Since I did have conversations with them, I started showing them apostate videos I was finding on YouTube. Oh, they put you on their list to stay away from. They was acting weird and shutting me down at the time, but I didn't understand at the time. Yeah. Um, have y'all seen the few different channels have been showing? I don't know if the conventions have started. I thought I guess they would, because I think they used to start what, like in end of May, but they had they got, I guess they got a skit, a video, where it's two couple friends, but one seemed like they kind of waking up, and then in the end, the waking up guy sends a video to the other guy, and then it's like this whole thing or whatever. So I was like, oh, they trying to let the ones that's still hanging in there know, don't be over there on YouTube looking at stuff, and don't let nobody send you nothing from YouTube, which is so crazy. I'm telling y'all, I got this one JW. His name is Randall something. Stay in my comments. And he's convinced himself. And I'm like, is this the narrative going around at the Kingdom Hall? He was like, you could be doing something else instead of trying to make money spreading lies about the Jehovah's Witnesses. And I said, who's making money? Like when he first started coming, watching the videos or commenting, I was like, I'm not even monetized. And so I'm monetized now, but like I told y'all at the beginning of the live, I may have earned $6 in the last week. Like, it's like, it's so delusional. It's so delusional. Yeah, it's very interesting, Melissa. I don't like, and I don't know how people be getting the leaks. Like, I don't even know where they. Yes, Linda, they was discouraged from eating Lucky Charms. I guess because they magically delicious. TW said, I had to go on a shepherding call with the elder because the brother was reported to have viewed the movie Dirty Dancing. The call was awkward, to say the least. Oh my God. Too much. Mm-mm. Too much. Too much. Too much. Absolutely. Anybody watching the game? I don't hear my husband screaming, so I guess it ain't too exciting. And if anybody watching the game, can somebody tell me the score? Or who winning? I knew they was gonna get rid of Thibodeau. I knew it. I knew it. I'm always have love for Tibbs. He was rocking out with us here in Chicago for a while, but I do think that is one flaw in his coaching style. He won't extend his rotation. You can't do that. You gotta extend your rotation. Because how are those other guys at the end of the bench gonna ever get there if you never let them get in when it counts? If you never let them get in when it counts. Oh, okay, Melissa, you was able to eat Lucky Charms. Yeah, I had never heard that, but a lot of people know about it. So, it must have really been a thing. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeedy. That is so funny. Yeah, Awaken Truths. I know Wally did on his channel, JW Thoughts. Who else? Stop the Shunning. Is her name Bethany? I think she just did a video with Coastal Consciousness. If y'all ever interested in just other high control religions, that's a great channel. She's an ex-Mormon, And she at first was kind of, telling interviewing people, telling they ex-Mormon story. But then she's really gotten out there into just all kinds of stuff. I done learned about groups and high control, religions I had never heard of, because of her channel. I'm like, man, it is crazy out here, y'all. It's crazy out here in these religious streets, I'm like, I just don't understand that need to control, control, control. Yeah. Yep. So that's so funny. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. So y'all congregation must not have been that, you know, deaf on making sure you don't say this or say that. And you know what's so like so sad, because you become conditioned to it. Like, I remember feeling like crazy and awkward if somebody sneezed or something like that, and I'm just sitting there like like can't say tight. I can't say bless you. And it's been videos where I've seen where people kind of go and they debunk, like, witnesses will say, "Oh, this is pagan. This is duh, 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 duh." But then it's like, but this is also, pagan in origin too. But you okay with that? Like, whatever I forget what it is, but the significance of wearing the ring on your left, your left hand, and that ring finger, and just all the things. So it's just like a classic case of somebody curating things to their advantage. You know. So it's yeah, you told me about that too, Esty, about no charms on the bracelet. Yeah, that was crazy. Okay, tell me Dr. K has a very interesting video on YouTube, Digital Apostates, the nightmare to watch that never saw coming. Okay, we gotta check that out. Yeah, Melissa, right? It's just normalcies of life here in America, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ain't nobody watching the game. And I didn't let me see. I hate when my I hate when my Hulu bumps out and then I don't remember which password I use. The life of a 50-year-old. Ma'am, what are you looking at? Whoa, 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 whoa! You guys changed the seat. Let me see. I don't think I logged it back in. Did y'all know I wear glasses? I do wear glasses, but I don't ever wear them on the videos. Oh, okay. What I miss? TW said you could be called to the back room for the following: seen in the high living room at the casino, seen smoking, dirty dancing, low field service time as a friends for money, going to the university. I didn't know that asking the friends for money could get you back there. I know it was discouraged. Yeah, I didn't plug my Hulu in, so I can't watch. Is the game on a commercial? Is that what you're saying, Renard? Um, Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Oh, OKC winning. Thank you, Renard. I think OKC might do it. I think they might do it because I don't know, but Indiana pretty good when it comes, that game when they came back, and that boy, what's his name? I want to say Macbeth. I know that ain't his name. He kept hitting them threes, hitting them threes, hitting them threes, and they came back and went in overtime. That was a crazy game. I knew that was gonna be a good series. New York just ran out of gas, and because I know how Tibbs tends to coach, I knew he was gonna get fired. I told my husband. I said they're gonna let him go. I'd be surprised if they don't fire him, and they did. And on paper, it don't make sense, but Tibbs just don't want to budge. He keep a short rotation, and you just can't do that going deep with the intentions of going all the way. You gotta extend. You gotta let them other guys get some playing time. Let's see. Oh, now you know what's so crazy? Like my family would accept the magazines, right? And I remember coming home, and the Awake used to always have interest in science and things like that. So I would read them. I'm into science and stuff like that, obviously, right? And so I remember it was an Awake, and it talked about you know why it wasn't like Christian like to borrow money from friends and family. So I didn't read this, and read, because it got these scriptures in here. I'm thinking like, oh, okay. Next time somebody in my family come asking me to borrow some money, I'm gonna say, do you know that God don't like that? That you should be going to a bank and all this stuff. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. They was planting their seed in me right then and there. I might have been, yeah, I might have been like 21. I was working at the casino. Did I ever tell y'all that? I used to work at the casino. I remember telling my family that, like, did you know, like, with the magazine, you would have thought I was a JW already. Like, did you know these scriptures say you should not be asking to borrow money? Yeah, I used to work at the casino. I used to be a blackjack and what was it called? Caribbean stud dealer. Yep. I was 21. I was living at home. I ain't had no kids. I was in school. We had to wear a uniform, so I was stacking my money, paying off the stupid credit cards I had got in college. And I remember I had quit, just quit, no 2 week notice, and they begged me to come back. And they said, we'll just keep you in high limits. We'll keep you in high limits. But because high limits, I think, was smoke free, I think. And I was like, I'm tired of the smoke. I'm gonna end up with lung cancer. I was just like, I'm over it. And it was yeah, after a while it gets kind of depressing because you see these people every day almost, and they losing their life. They losing their house, house about to get foreclosed. Just too much. And then I remember sitting there one day just looking at people and just looking how they look just like somebody addicted to drugs. And I remember thinking to myself, I said, Jesus, and I'm in here dealing cards. And so I think I might have stayed 4 more weeks. And then I just told him, like, I can't do this no more. I was like, I don't want to do this no more. But I mean, at 21, it was a good paying job. But I didn't see a long future. All right, cool sis. Good night. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. I'm probably gonna get off in a little bit too. Oh, y'all, it's almost 9 o'clock. Yeah, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off because I need to go work out. I gotta keep my streak going. Oh, absolutely, TW. Um, Yeah, the slots and the tables. Butterfly, your messages are not going through. I thought you had I had thought you left the chat. The comment that came through says, I don't think my messages are going through, but please no worries. Yeah, this is the first thing I saw because I noticed that you wasn't saying anything. So I'm like, oh, maybe she had to get off. I don't know what's going on. I wonder, did it happen when it froze up? Oh yeah, you know they want that. I can't say it. You know, if you say the word, they will both come in here. They love that. They love that little chewable thing. But okay, so now it's back coming, butterfly. Say so I can see them above. Gave suggestions about video. I ain't see none of that. YouTube is hating. They is hating. I'm going back. I don't. The last comment for what I just read that I have, you said JWs may be a good idea to talk about the lesser known things JWs can't do. Say bless you, eat certain cereal, say good luck, etc. The ridiculous stuff. That was the last comment before you said before about us not being able to see it. That's crazy. Maybe that's what it is, TW. If it was, yeah, if it was politics, because we learned that before. Hi, Denise. Um, I don't know what you mean per se by afterlife, but for me personally, I I do believe like my loved ones, my ancestors that they spirit, remains. Now I don't go all into detail like, like I guess a thing of like calling on them, not like in a Beetlejuice type way, but you know, my uncle had surgery the other day, and his son was saying he was just, asking my grandma like, to come and protect them, and let him get through surgery, okay, and all the things. And so he did have, successful surgery. He doing well, and at that very moment, that he was telling me he had a surgery, I saw a cardinal. I believe cardinals are our loved ones coming to, say hi, or they hear us, or, things of that nature. So that's just kind of like my belief, that I do believe my loved ones, watch over me and protect me, um, especially if I call on them, But that's just my thought. That's what brings me comfort. And I've had some experiences where I feel like, that were very real in that regard. Let's see, Butterfly said, I said maybe do video regarding the crazy spy culture and cults, friends turning in friends in the judicial committee. Yes, yes. Maybe the word spy they didn't like. Okay. The chat tab keeps disappearing. I don't know why. I'm not doing nothing. I still got good amount of battery, so I'm sorry, y'all. Hopefully, once I start going live through a streaming platform, it will be better. I just go live straight through YouTube, but I think once you start using like a streaming platform, it's totally better. So work with me, y'all. Give me a little grace to get that up and going. Well, I know that's right, TW. All right. Good night, Lady Tina. I'm glad you was able to catch us tonight. You know what? It's 10 for you, it's 9 for me, y'all. Y'all know I'll be sitting here talking to y'all all night. I'm gonna get on off myself. Let me see what TW said. I think about my relatives that have passed on every single day. No lie. I I do too. Butterfly, that is a good one. Yes, that is a good one. All right, y'all. I got a few like on the agenda, but I want to see what y'all might have thought. So let me make sure I put that one down. Um, um, and then the spy culture. All right, all right. So I appreciate y'all so much. Let's see, did I miss anything? Once the chat hears my voice, I hope I don't. Oh my God. It's going to be crazy to hear people's voices, right? Bye, Denise. Good night, Michelle. Good night, Renard. Good night, SD. Good night, Melissa. Good night, TW. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. I might jump on live this weekend. We'll see how it go. If y'all not busy and y'all see the notification, come say hey. Good night, butterfly. All right. Good night. Peace out, y'all.